Hello, and welcome back to the next episode of the Slappin Kpop podcast. I'm Kayla, and I am once again with Sammi.
Hello.
And this time we are going to continue our Road to Kingdom coverage with the round 3 performances.
Oh boy. Oh boy. There's a reason we waited until all of them were out. One, because we didn't have time, and two, because we were like, we can't just do the first 3 collabs. We have, hopefully the next will be better, and then everything came out, and we're like, oh.
Okay. So, First, I guess we need to officially mourn Golden Child, who were eliminated, sadly, after the second round.
A moment of silence. Okay.
Moment of silence for Golden Child.
I want a picture of Sad Bowman crying.
Sad Bowman is going to be the thumbnail of this episode.
Sad Bowman is... We've been talking about Sad Bowman because Bowman is a very sensitive boy for like the past couple
He
weeks.
is a big baby.
And I legitimately, my heart broke when they left. I was just like, you were the highlights. You were one of the highlights.
This is so disappointing. Also, I was banking on them making the finale because when we were making our quarter 2 list for our quarter 2 podcast, we get to sit on
certain songs.
I put the Golden Child Road to Kingdom song on my list because I was banking they were gonna just make it there.
I never imagined they were gonna be the ones to leave. I still don't.
I know.
I think Mnet is pulling something because
I think I could have imagined it. I could have imagined it if Golden Child was doing actively bad on this show, but they were easily putting out some of the best performances, so it just makes no sense. Wolom apparently pissed off Mnet somehow.
Again, I still think that Mnet's pulling some shenanigans because I legitimately because I work early in the morning usually when Road to Kingdom stuff comes out. I'm already working, so I will just look on Twitter and see what the rankings are. And they don't make sense to me.
They make no sense.
Just looking at them, having not watched the performances, then I watch the performances and I realize they make even less sense. Who are these 150 fans that they got?
Yeah,
and
where
do they
are we
have
getting
ears?
These people? Where are these people coming from?
It's
just a way for Mnet to rig the show they want, honestly.
It's all Mnet staff members who just happen to also who are just yeah, no, my daughter likes the boys, it's fine. I get to vote for her because she's 7. So let's start with nothing much happened in these episodes, so we're really mostly going to talk about the performances.
Nothing really interesting happened.
All the rest of the shenanigans are just shenanigans.
Mm-hmm. So they randomly pair them up to do these collaboration performances. So we first get two and very
into the 2 youngest groups. Are they? Yeah, they're the 2 youngest groups.
Is one us technically younger than Very Very, or is it the other?
No, I
think
Very Very the younger.
Someone's younger by an hour.
There's an hour, and I don't think it matters. I think Very Very might be younger.
Okay.
That or they're. I always feel like Very Very is potentially looking at the members of Very Very. They look like they're 12. So I just always assume they're just young.
Very Very has the youngest member on the show.
Yeah.
Kangmin's the youngest person here.
They're just very young, and also just the group itself is very young looking. Mm-hmm. So I just always assume they're very young.
Yeah.
So they did BTS's new smash hit on.
Mm-hmm.
Look,
and so
this
overall, is going to be a common theme of this round is bad song choice. That's a really common theme of this round.
Here's the thing. This has a bad song choice, not because it's a bad song. I love On being the look at the profile picture. I love On. I love BTS. I think it's a good song. I just think that it's a very bad choice for a rookie group. It's almost a rookie
way
group.
Too ambitious of a song.
It's very
ambitious. Rookie groups to be covering.
It's so big. It's big, it's loud, it's a statement. I think that they could have done... It's almost as if a brand new rookie group deciding that one of their first covers is going to be neurotic. Even if they have a more mature concept, you don't just do that song as a rookie group. You need time, you need stage exposure, you need experience, you need to do that. I think On is too big of a song to just right out of the gate rookie group, even if you're a year old, just decide to do. I think they could have done a pretty good cover of Not Today, Fire, Dope, Boy in Love.
Dope would have been so fun. Oh my god. Like a Dope cover. That would have been so good.
I think they have that kind of energy. But this song is such a statement of, we are here and we are the biggest thing and we're going to make a statement. You don't have that as a 1-year-old to 2-month-old rookie group.
Yeah.
And I don't expect you to have that. That's BTS as the day that we're recording this is BTS's 7th anniversary day. So congratulations, happy birthday, BTS.
Happy birthday.
But also, like, they've had 7 years to make it to this point. They've had a year or a couple months.
Two's had a couple months, yeah.
Exactly. So it's like I don't expect you to be able to pull this song off with the power that it needs to. I think very few groups could.
No, there are very few groups I think who could cover On well in the first place. And I think it's for them, it's really evident how, like, rookie groups they are in this cover.
And that's the thing, like, the vocals aren't bad. The dancing isn't bad. The stage presence isn't bad. It's just, when you compare it to On, which, again, this is a cover, you are going to compare it to the original because that's what it is. It's a cover. It's just like you took... If BTS's energy is at 100, their energy is at about a 50. Like, it is just, you've half the energy, and at that point it loses a lot of what makes it amazing.
There is also a lot in this round, is another common thing, where it seems like we're throwing darts to pick concepts for the songs at this point.
Yep.
Like...
Because a lot of these songs have very clear concepts in mind. BTS, the actual song itself has drums. It's a very, almost like a drumline concept. But I guess not wanting it to be the same concept, they decide to go more military. Which, again,
is really, it's unnecessary. But it's not adding anything.
It's not adding anything, and honestly, it's just like, why? This seems more... It's not... The song has a lot of power, and it is about being able to fight, but I do not think it's more of an introspective, not so much as a, let's go off to war type thing.
Right, right.
Especially in this day and age, which, again, we're recording this in June of 2020, if anyone wants to realize everything else that's happening. Let's keep going. Kayla?
Let's keep going. Okay. Next performance is ONF and Pentagon.
Oh, that was a choice to put those two together.
That's a choice of groups
if you know our previous opinions about the other...
Both of these groups.
...stages of these two groups have been doing. They did Kill This Love.
Cover Kill This Love by Blackpink.
Which, again, I don't think our Blackpink opinions are known, but we're also not a fan of this song.
Yeah, so here we are once again, bad song choice. Also, what is this concept?
Look... I think neither of us are fans of this song particularly.
No,
but
I am not.
The thing it has going for it is that, much like On, it's a big, loud statement piece. And while Very Very and 2 kept the big, loud, and statement and just half the energy, they decided to go let's go to 10% energy
all of the
and
energy
make it
out.
almost... Let's just take all of... Everything interesting is just take out all of the energy... And just make this weird... What is the obsession with these groups and making creepy concepts? Because all of them have already done a creepy concept. Why more?
I don't understand this at all.
Like, I feel like them doing an energetic... Just... Because, again, you already have the added concept that you're switching the genders because it's a girl group song being done by a boy group. That is and then that change of perspective from a girl to a guy, that's an interesting change to the song. And then you obviously have to change the choreo and all that. That's enough of a change of concept that I would be okay if they just kept it as a similar arrangement.
Yeah, if they just kept the energy, if they just kept the energy up and kept it mostly the same, but just changed the choreography and everything, that would have been probably better than whatever they ended up doing, because it's really weird. I don't even know what the point of the stage is. And so the reason they even picked this song was apparently Hui had already made an arrangement for it, like, in the past for fun. And then he showed it to Pentagon and ONF, and they're like, oh, this sounds cool, let's just do it. And I'm just, okay, alright.
My question is Hui just doing all this in his spare time? Like, what was, like, why? Why does he have this?
I don't know.
Also, why did he, like, this... The thing is, when you do this drastic of a change, especially to a very well-known song, it'd be different if this was, like an older song, or a song from, like, that has been covered to death. That's different. If this song had been covered to death, if this was, like, an SNSD song, or this was even, like, a 21 song, if they were covering, like, I Am the Best or something, and they had completely done a weird switch around, that's a song that we've seen before. Kill This Love is brand new. It's a year old at this point, but it's new. And we haven't seen too many covers of Kill This Love. Full covers. At least not so much like because we've seen little choreo snippet covers by everyone and their mother. But, like, actual...
Not like a stage-produced, like, cover, yeah.
Yeah, stage-produced cover. That's not as well done. That's not as done. But I think it's just such a new song that I think that it's, like, it's still in everyone's minds. And Blackpink is still performing it regularly. So, like, what is...
Because it's their most recent song.
It's their most recent song now. Who knows when their next one's going to be? I don't trust YG.
Who knows if YG tells the truth anymore.
Exactly.
Probably not.
He doesn't. He lies. Because he's a liar. But, like, I think that it was a bad timing. It's too soon. And it's also, like, you just sucked out the best part of that song, which was the energy.
It just made the song super boring, and the concept is weird and creepy, and it didn't need to... That concept, like, for this song, like, really didn't need to happen.
It was just weird. It was a weird decision. I was like...
Nothing... Like, the choreo changes, like, weren't even that good.
No.
Because they changed the song so much.
Love, partially, one of my problems with the actual Kill This Love is I don't like its choreo is kind of boring for me. And this choreo... The thing you have is, like, you have an opportunity... If Kill This Love... If this had been a good, high energy with good choreo, you might have even improved on the song. Because one of its faults is that I don't like its choreo. Now you've taken away the energy, you've done still bad choreo, and you've slowed it to a halt. I don't know what I'm supposed to get out of it. And to begin with, it's not a song that either of us particularly enjoys anyway.
Right. I guess because both of us don't like it, there was an opportunity. I think there's a decent amount of people who don't like this song either. They had a good opportunity to, like, make a change to it that, you know, people would appeal to, like, other people, so people would like it more, but I feel like they really didn't do that well.
The changes are just odd, and I'm just like, the question I have for a lot of the changes done with this is why. And, like, that's not the worst thing to happen, because I see, like, if this was an amazing cover, I'd also just be asking, well, why this concept? But it's just not good enough for me to get over my question of, why were these changes made? What about these changes made this song better, in your opinion? Those are questions I have for Hui that I would just like an answer to.
Our poor boy.
Not that I deserve these answers, not that he has to answer to me. But, like, just sort of questions of, like, why? What were the purpose?
Because I don't know the purpose.
So, lastly, we actually have something positive to say, which we have One Us and The Boys. Two groups that I think personally, these are my two favorite groups on the show, for me.
Yeah, at this point, yes.
Currently.
Now that Golden Child is gone.
Taking away our other children. But, like, The Boys has essentially been turning this competition into what amazing stage can the boys do this week. And they did Heroine by Sunmi.
Very interesting that two of the three collaboration pairs picked girl group songs instead.
It was it was different. I think it's good because I think you very rarely get to see them not be done almost as a joke. Yeah. And these were taken fully seriously. One thing I will say that they were taken fully seriously. And so
we both agree this is easily the best performance of the entire round 3.
Oh yes. Any of the solo performances, this is maybe one of my favorite performances in this show. It was just so well done. Because it's so good. It decided that it wanted to be something. It decided that it wanted to make those changes. And it kept the energy of the song. It did not grind the song to screeching halt, but it changed it. And it made it something new and different, where essentially they just told the story of what it's like to be an idol trainee. From being in a company, training, and debuting. And it was very well done, in my opinion. It was
really well done. It was also, so far, it's the only, like, vocally focused performance as well, because there are, like, 4 main vocals were singing live because they did a lot of harmonies and everything. So I also really appreciated that they went out of their way to make it more vocally focused, because everything has been very performance stance focused on the show so far.
Yeah, and I also think that, like, it's just their vocalists shine. They gave moments for their rappers to shine because they added, like, a legitimate, like, they rewrote raps for this song. They gave a moment for their dancers. They put the
fan chants of every group in here. It's just
that was just so heartwarming. Because then you just start.
It's like a really, like, you can tell how meaningful of a stage that was to both One Us and the boys, and you can obviously it would mean a lot to Two and Very Very and ONF and Pentagon as well, because every single one of those groups have gone through that.
And the thing is, it's especially interesting because again, all of these groups have had comebacks this year, except for ONF.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah, except for ONF has had comebacks this year, and you look at it, and this year they have had to do live stages without fan chants. And you think about that, and Two has never done a stage with a fan chant, at least as a debuted group.
Yeah. Because they debuted right in the middle of coronavirus.
Of Corona. I think maybe, I can't remember if Very Very was before. At least most of these groups, when they had their comebacks, they were not allowed. Like, there was no crowd. And it was just like, it's just hearing that, because again, is it weird that now, like, I will watch, this is a tangent, but, like, I will watch something like Mnet something or something, and it's just so weird to go back to old performances and just hear a crowd screaming.
I know, it is. It's
bizarre. Went back and I was watching something from another group, and I just heard, like, an actual fan chant. And I was like, oh my god, it's been months.
Remember when we could go to concerts?
I know! And, like, it's just, like, hearing these fan chants, like, these legitimate fan chants over this, it's, like, heartbreaking that we don't have it anymore, and we're gonna get it back eventually when it's all over, but, like, I think it's just these groups haven't heard it in a while either, and it's just a good reminder of, like, the fans that they aren't getting to interact with as much anymore. I don't know, I just wanted to add that added layer of why the fan chants were... They would have been special at any time, but I feel like especially now it was just something to note.
Right. Alright, so this is part 1 of...
Part 1 of this round.
Round 3, which is... The way they formatted this round is stupid.
The way they formatted this show, because you know I consistently get confused that those intro performances don't count as a round. So I just consistently call everything a round ahead.
Yeah.
Because that's a me problem. But, like, the way they formatted this show is just very weird.
It's really weird. But anyway, Pentagon and ONF come in first place, so they get an extra 5,000 points. And then Two and Very Very in second, and then One Us and the Boys in last.
Who are
this they? This is about as wrong as the rankings could probably get.
This is the opposite of our ranking.
Yeah.
This is the literal opposite of our ranking.
Literal opposite.
What is happening? Are we the ones taking crazy pills here? Like, what's happening? I don't
understand.
Because it's, like, legitimately, like, it's one thing if these were all okay performances. One of these performances almost had me in tears.
And it comes in last place.
In last place.
Oh, boy.
And then you have Kill This Love out here existing and getting first.
Yeah.
I don't know. But let's move on before I go on. Move on.
So part 2 of round 3 is your song, and essentially what every group had to do is they picked a song that they wanted to see another group perform, and then that song was assigned to their round 3 part 1 partner group, essentially.
And before we begin, can I go on a rant about how stupid of an idea that is?
It's a bad idea because you get real bad songs from that, because they don't have to take responsibility for anything relating to that song.
They don't have the responsibility of actually having to think about how they would arrange that song for this new group. They don't have the responsibility of having to think, does this song work to be covered? And can we, as our group, cover this song? Because not every group can cover every song. Not every group can work with that concept. Not every group has the vocalists needed, or the dancers needed, or the rappers needed, or whatever. Not every group can cover every song. And not even every group has an interest in covering this particular song or knows what to do with it. So when you just have random groups who don't have to who are just like, well, I can just give them this song and it's whatever, they are going to have to make it work. And yeah, sure, every person should be able to sure, you can do all the BS of everyone. Anyone can perform anything, sure. But it doesn't make for good entertainment on the part of the viewer if these end up being poor performances, because all of these are very polished performances. But the quality of the song will affect the overall quality of the performance, and just sort of a group not knowing what to do with a song will affect the overall quality of performance, because they don't have that much time to make this work. This show, I feel, was filmed over a week and a half.
Well,
it's so fast paced.
These two, round 3 both parts were definitely filmed on the same day. Mm-hmm. And then I can't track. There was a really large gap between when they filmed round 1 and round 2 and then round 3. There was a 3-week gap in between that. So they get some time to prepare, I guess, but it's still not that, if they're putting on, such elaborate, stage performances like that, that's still not a lot of time to prepare.
And my question for this part of the round continues to be, why?
Why?
Why were these decisions made?
Why?
And also, if I'm being cynical, this also gives a lot of groups the opportunity to sabotage the other one.
It really does.
Pick terrible songs. I don't want to be cynical, because I always feel like much of this probably isn't even the groups picking songs, it's their management, and I'm much more okay with management being cynical. Mm-hmm. I think management suck. A lot of these management companies do suck. So I'm just this is no wonder, I'm sorry, is it a coincidence that the round where other groups get to pick what you have to sing is also, and I'm saying it now, the worst round on this show?
This is easily the worst round of the show.
Legitimately, is that a coincidence? Or am I, my cynical brain is just The cynical part of me is of course it is.
Yep. Alright,
so let's start with probably the best one.
Probably. I think the first and the last are probably the best ones. We had a real low point in the middle.
Yeah, we hit a real low point in the dead and almost the dead center. But let's go with One Us did Be Mine by Infinite. Mm-hmm. So we're both
good song.
Big Infinite
good song
fans.
Choice. Yeah, one of the only good song choices here.
Yeah, we're both big Infinite fans. Mm-hmm. So we love Be Mine to begin with.
Look at my profile picture.
And I think that they changed the song. It was a good I think it was actually a pretty decent.
It's a really good arrangement of the song. I think, concept-wise, I get it, because they do Romeo and Juliet, Be Mine. All Infinite songs are very romance-driven, so I sort of understand where they get the Romeo and Juliet concept for that song. And also,
a Be Mine and a Romeo and Juliet concept fit together. Yeah. Probably of all these concepts,
makes the most sense. Might have
been, it's... You can see the clear through line of A to B.
Yes.
A does, there's a line.
We don't take, 5 detours together in the center to get from A to B.
Yeah, you can see how they got from A to B, and it was a well-done Romeo and Juliet concept. I think it was really, their vocals worked well, the dancing was good. It's just sort of...
It's just a little messy, is I think, probably the biggest thing with it, is it's, it's not, the most well-polished performance, but it's still overall pretty good.
But also, they're not... I think we're also just very used to, One Us does not have the same reputation for dancing that Infinite has.
No, definitely not.
It's just very much of, I think, Infinite sets a bar for that song because it is one of their. I mean, it's probably the song.
It's probably their most popular song.
Yeah, it's a song that got them on the map, in a way.
I really appreciate that they didn't just use the infinite choreography because I don't think One Us probably would do it well because it does have to be, it's so sharp and it has to be really synchronized. And I do appreciate that they just made completely new choreo, and I think that worked a lot better for them.
And I also want to just mention that, like, I also don't think that choreo would have worked for the concept that they were going for.
No, it would not work
Trying
for
to
the
balance a
either.
Romeo and Juliet concept with the sharp.
Yeah.
But I think that overall this is a good cover of this. It's a pretty good cover. It's not the best cover of Be Mine I've seen. Mm-hmm. But I do think, like, most covers of Be Mine end up just being a straight cover. Like, just, for a stage,
none of the other ones are doing this, like, in-depth to the stage performance or anything.
Yeah, for this kind of a stage, I think it was really well done, and it's a clear concept, and they executed it well. Mm-hmm. So up next.
Yep, here we go. We have two, and the song that they got was Hard Carry by GOT7. Here we go, bad song choice again, but it's not, we can't blame them in the slightest because they had no say in the song they got.
That's the thing of, like, in this, I almost feel bad for the groups that got bad songs because they didn't pick the song.
Blame Very Very for two's bad song choice.
And the fun thing is, the two groups that got good song choices, One Us and The Boys, gave each other the good song choices.
They did.
And then everybody else just gave each other bad songs.
Had
bad performances.
Yeah.
So yeah, no, 2 got Hard Carry by GOT7. 1, not the best GOT7 song. I think that song is just...
Definitely not.
It's a loud... It's another really loud statement song.
Yeah.
But I think 2... This was not my least favorite performance. This was
their concept, at least, was not, like, really just out there, like, a couple of these were.
And I enjoyed parts of it. Like, I enjoyed the dance break. I liked the concept. And I think that the concept was, like, if the concept fits the song, because it's actually quite similar to what the song is anyway. It's more similar to the original concept than a lot of these other groups did.
Yep.
And I think that they did a competent cover. Like, it's a pretty good cover of a bad song. That's sort of the issue with it. The reason it's bad is not because of anything
it's just a bad song to begin with.
Yeah, none of the changes 2 made the song worse. It's just an inherently song that is not that good.
It's a weird song to try to cover too. It's because the actual theme of Hard Carry is, like, really weird because it's in their, like, Flight Log trilogy, and so it's like there's just, like, no theme happening with it.
Nope.
And so
it's a plane crash.
Yeah, it's weird to try to come up with something, like, a theme-wise to do with it. And they sort of went for this, like, street artist painting type concept, which was fine.
I like the blacklight. The blacklight was an interesting concept, but again, I just think that, like, I don't think 2 had the budget for a plane.
No.
It's just on the stage. So I think the concept worked for, like, the vibe of the song, because the vibe of the song is just very, like, young, but also very aggressive.
It's, like, very aggressive in your face, and 2 is not really that group.
But I think that they
really
were able
aggressive
to tone
in your
it
face.
down, because I almost think the original song is too aggressive. Mm-hmm. That's one of the issues with it, and I think them toning it back a little bit almost improves on it, where it's like it's less in your face, it's less. So I think that it works in a way. Mm-hmm. I don't know. I enjoyed it overall.
It's fine. There's things here I like least.
Yeah, of the other songs,
less,
this was okay.
So, yeah.
This honestly ends up being close. Like, this honestly, in a
by
way,
default,
ends up being,
it's in, like, the top
one of the
half,
better
yeah.
ones, even though in general it's not. It's just okay. Mm-hmm. And that's really the failings of everybody else.
Yeah. So with that, we move on to the next group. Is ONF, and they got It's Raining by Rain for their song, which is, like, it's not bad. It's just that it's not a song a lot of people would be familiar with.
It's a song I've maybe heard once. And my question for Pentagon, again, is why?
Why?
Who remembers It's Raining by Rain? Like, that is not even in the top 5 Rain songs that I remember.
Let's be happy that they didn't give him, like, freaking Gang by Rain. As just a joke.
I would have enjoyed them to try to give them Rainism.
Rainism would have been better.
Rainism would have been better if you still want to... But, like, why? Why It's Raining by Rain?
It's a weird song. It's just a weird song choice. And there's, like, really, honestly, like, I don't remember a lot of anything for this performance. It's just a lot of nothing for me.
It's
just there.
It's there? But I
like,
also
ONF has done stuff that I hate more,
really
so it's like, it's fine. Like, it's just nothing
confusing.
for me.
It's less confusing than anybody else's, but at least with, like, the worst songs, I remember them. I don't actually remember anything about the song. I just know that they were all vaguely dressed like Michael Jackson.
Mm-hmm.
Which, again, I'm like, what is the concept you're going for?
That's what I didn't understand this entire performance is, like, I don't know what you're doing. It's like what is the concept? Like, what are we doing with this song?
Because at least with everybody else, I knew the concept. Maybe I didn't agree with the concept, which
maybe because
the
concept for some of these other songs are just very in your face. It's like, this is the concept.
Mm-hmm. And also, why did we bring the sax from You Complete Me into this song? That was a weird choice. That's a thing
that ONF likes to do, is they like to bring their own songs and things into their covers, and I'm like, can you stop? Like, it's annoying,
I mean, I don't
honestly.
hate it, I just question it every time. I'm just like,
every time.
Why? It's not as bad as the way they did it in Everybody.
Yeah, and Everybody, it was a little bit more annoying.
Mm-hmm.
This time, at least, it's just like a background noise.
Honestly, I just find that, like, ONF... overall in this whole show has been the only group that I think has never had, like, an amazing performance.
Yeah. Like, because other groups have had, like, very highs and lows.
Yeah.
But, like...
there have been peaks and valleys.
Yeah. But ONF has just been, like, consistently, like, bad to okay.
Yeah. Like, there's nothing that I'm going to remember. And I think the thing with a lot of these groups, I think that they've most of them have realized that they're not going to win. Mm-hmm. But there is one moment that I'm going to come away with remembering from everybody. I'm going to remember 2's Rising Sun performance. I'm going to remember most of the performances the boys did. ONF had, like, a great lit performance, and I really liked this Be Mine. It's one of the most interesting, and Heroine.
Yeah.
And then you have, like, Pentagon.
Very Very's photo performance was probably my favorite one of the second round.
Very Very's photo performance was incredible.
Mm-hmm.
ONF, what do you come away with?
Yeah. It's like, I didn't like their Everybody performance. They had that really bad Kill This Love performance. Their second round one was probably their best one, but like, there were other better performances in that round for me, so...
it's just, overall, I'm just disappointed, because I think that, like, what you really need... The thing with these shows, I always never feel like you need to win them. Oh My Girl didn't win it. The Lovelies didn't win. G-Idol didn't win. But there's moments that you remember from these groups. AOA didn't win, but their career was completely reinvigorated. Because you have to have a memorable moment. You have to have a moment that people talk about. I don't think ONF is doing that. Or at least they're trying and it's not working.
At least for us, it's not working.
At least for us. I think other people, like, these are all our subjective opinions. You can think we're completely wrong, and that's fine. So next we have Pentagon. They got Monsta X's Follow.
Really bad song choice.
And a really weird concept, because now apparently...
Now we're in Egypt.
Follow makes everyone think that we're in ancient Egypt, because they think the word follow sounds like the word pharaoh. Okay.
Sure. Okay.
Sure. If that's how we're deciding on concepts...
You might as well be, like, throwing darts at a wall at that point, if that's how we're gonna pick the concepts. Like, oh my god.
It's like, here's how we're just, like, pick random concepts.
Mm-hmm.
It's just like, okay, ancient Egypt, sure.
Mm-hmm.
And it, again, sucking the energy.
He did the exact same thing for the song that he did with Kill This Love, where he took the really hype chorus to follow and just, like, killed off any hype that was there.
And then also just started yelling the word follow at me, and I'm like, Pentagon. Okay.
No. We get it.
We get it. A lot of groups took away the aggressiveness and in-your-faceness of these songs. I think Pentagon was just more in my face, and I'm like, hello. Sure. And we continue to use Hansek's body for views.
Yep. Mm-hmm. That's not going to stop anytime soon, I don't think.
I mean, they do it outside of this show.
They do.
I can't expect them to stop inside of this show. And there's nothing inherently wrong with that. It's just becoming such a trend where I'm like,
you just have to point it out every time it's there. Because they literally told him, we need to use your body.
Mm-hmm. Sure.
This is overall, a weird performance.
Overall, it's not the worst performance Pentagon's had. I do not feel emotionally manipulated, so there's that.
You don't feel emotional manipulation this time.
Yeah. There's no bad emotional manipulation. So overall, high marks on that. But I do just think it was a weird concept that they tried to, like, and also nothing about the new arrangement of the song made me think that's where the concept should go. So, like, the concept of the song just seemed like two disconnected things. Like, you know, like we said, One Us did, like, we saw A to B. This is, like, A's over here, and, like, it's, like, A to Q. It's like, we need something in the middle.
Mm-hmm. It's like we took, like, 10 different, like, detours on the way to get from, like, point A to point B. It's like, it's a weird choice for them.
It was a choice. But overall, like, the thing with Pentagon, and I think we've both been saying this, is that Pentagon, in a way, we had such high expectations.
We really did. I had such high expectations for Pentagon.
Maybe they were too high. But
maybe they were.
But then again, I don't know if any other group was doing these concepts, would I enjoy it more? I don't think so.
I don't think so.
I think I would just have the same problems I'm having with Pentagon, which is, like, you can do better.
Pentagon is really having the problem that G-Idol had in Queendom, where because Hui makes all of their stuff, they're essentially just gonna have to do whatever Hui does, just like Soyeon did in Queendom. And sometimes that's really not the best option for them.
Like, there's that 50-50 of, if they were doing amazing, all the credit is Hui's. If they're not, it's still your decision. Like, you have everything on your plate, and it's like that coin flip of, like, you can do great or you can do terrible. That's when you have that, like, mastermind behind your group. I don't know.
It's sad because I know he is working, like, really hard, and he feels a lot of pressure having to do all of this, but at the same time, it's like, I haven't liked a single performance Pentagon has put out on this show.
And, like, there have been better and there have been worse. Personally, I think that their last performance is, in a way, we talked about highlights. Their last performance is a highlight, both in good and in bad, where it's like, last round was the one where they did Shine, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So, like, their last round performance was the best, was great, because it's like, that Shine performance is an amazing performance. And then you immediately emotionally manipulate me, so I'm like, they have potential. That Shine performance just shows the potential. And then you had, like, Mnet. I genuinely think a lot of that was Mnet and Cube deciding this is what we're gonna push.
I don't put it past Cube for making them push that, because Cube is a horrible company, so.
Yeah. So I think it's just, like, there's, like, a lot of factors that are, I think, beyond his control that are also affecting him. And you can't, like, he just lost their main vocalist.
Yeah.
Very recently. Like, it's a lot to handle all at once. Plus the pressure. Plus Yanon is God knows where. It's a lot.
It is. They're going through a lot of changes as a group, and I have a feeling that's probably affecting their performances.
I feel like Pentagon has not stopped going through changes since their debut. I feel like there's always something constantly happening, and I'm like, between everything, I think since Edon left, it's been a constant stream of changes, and I'm like, oh, I feel bad for these poor boys.
Yeah.
Next, we go to maybe the most confusing.
Oh boy, yep. So this is
got Go Go Baby by Mamamoo. Now, let's talk about Go Go Baby for a moment.
I actually like that song a lot.
I don't mind it. But like, what concept comes to your mind when you think Go Go Baby? House party, just such like
cute
group of people getting together, having fun.
It's just a cute, fun song. Yeah,
like a fun song. Mm-hmm. Do you think retelling of hit Disney film Aladdin? Because that's what we got.
I don't understand how they got that song and we're immediately like, let's retell Aladdin for the song concept. That's the obvious idea, right?
That's what we needed.
Oh god. That was a choice. It's weird. The song arrangement is fine and nothing about it screams Aladdin. But that's what the performance is.
Because the performance is almost it's almost just a straight cover of Go Go Baby, just turned from female vocals to fit male vocals. That's essentially what it is. They don't do much of a change of arrangement or anything like that. And it still does not scream Aladdin.
No, it does not.
I don't think there's an arrangement you could do with this song that would scream Aladdin. Unless you completely deconstructed it and remade it.
It would just be a different song at that point.
Just make a different song.
You keep the lyrics of Go Go Baby, but just compose a different song.
Hey, just make it a different song. It's fine. We won't.
You take the lyrics to Go Go Baby and you just stick it in like one of the Aladdin
Arabian
songs,
Nights.
like One Jump Ahead or something. Yeah. Oh boy.
I don't know.
It's just there's a lot of. It's very messy. There's a lot of mistakes that happen in it. It's just there's too much going on.
I will be fair. I will say just the pure vocals and the pure like ability to cover the song Go Go Baby, taking away the concept, not bad. They do a perfectly good cover of Go Go Baby. When you add the rest of the elements of this performance into it, I think is where you really get the issues.
The concept really kills it. The concept makes no sense. They could have chosen literally any other concept and just performed Go Go Baby and it would have been much better.
They could have, again, imagine that with the concept that 2 was having. Mm-hmm. With the black lights.
Fine. Good song. Good cover.
Good cover. Good song. Good concept. Boom. Mm-hmm. Good performance. That might have been the best performance. That would have probably been one of the best performances of the night if it had a different concept that made sense. Mm-hmm. I don't know. Very Very is another group that has a lot of highs and lows.
They have had, like, incredible highs and incredible lows this entire show.
They have thus far made 2 of the worst covers in this. Does this now prove that Very Very maybe shouldn't do that many covers? That's harsh. Maybe, words.
Because their best song was their own song.
It was their own
And then
B-side.
Their intro performance.
And then they also did that Monse on the Titanic.
Yeah, Very Very having major problems with the concepts, I think. Mm-hmm. They're having, like, major concept disconnect from the song. Which, is, like, again, a really big problem for them.
I think a lot of that ends up coming from the company. So, again,
I think so. Because Jellyfish has VIX, and VIX is such a concept-driven group.
Maybe that's the problem. It's, like, Very Very... Because there's groups that are concept-driven, there's groups that are not. VIX, very concept-driven.
Very Very is not at all that group. No. That VIX is. They are not a concept-driven group.
No. Very Very is much more of, like, your more straightforward, and there's nothing wrong with that. Straightforward, like, fun song, or more serious song with, like, Layback was slightly more serious. But, like, their concepts are very general. They're not specific, like, VIX, who's had, like, their voodoo concept.
Every comeback that VIXX has is a specific concept, and it's meant to tell a story and be a very specific thing. And I feel like Jellyfish was almost trying to do that with Very Very on this show, but it's like there's just a major disconnect happening because Very Very isn't that group to do these major concepts, and you can't just take these random songs that aren't anywhere close to the concepts you're trying to do and try to make them work together.
It's just, I think that a lot of it is just the company maybe not understanding. Like, I feel like, especially companies that have had one big group, like, Jellyfish has had VIXX and whatever. They see that success and they're like, oh, well, how we have success with our new group is by trying to emulate our old group. And it's like, no, they're completely different groups with completely different strengths. So maybe play to that group's strengths. Which for I think with Very Very, a lot of that is their energy. Like, you can say whatever you want about Very Very songs, but they always bring an energy there. And I think a lot of the concepts they're being given are almost taking away, not this, but not this specifically, because this had energy, but a lot of concepts they're given just take away their energy. And they try to go for, like, being like VIXX 2.0, which isn't going to work.
No, Very Very is not at all VIXX 2.0. No.
But I think there are groups that could be VIXX 2.0 that could do these creepy concepts. We've seen that before. And by VIXX 2.0, I don't mean a complete clone of VIXX people. I just mean, like, concept-driven groups.
Yeah.
I want better for them.
I do too, because they've put on like some really fantastic performances on the show. So we know how good they're capable of being.
We know how good everyone on this show is capable of being, and I just want.
I feel like they need to be given better direction from like. I think it's mostly on the company now, is they have to give them better direction and understand them as a group better and like what their strengths are.
I just think they're trying to fit these groups into very specific. I think they want all these groups to be able to be these variety concept kings, and it's like no, not every group is a concept king, and some groups have their concept, have their style, and especially if you're a rookie group, you're still trying to find out your concept. You can't be trying on concepts like their Halloween costumes.
That's really what this show has become, is it's become like a battle of concepts more than anything else. And because of it, you get some things that are really cool, and then you just get these other songs that have concepts that have almost nothing to do with the original songs that they're covering. And it's like, okay, why was this an idea that, like, you even thought was a good idea? Like,
because that's the other thing, is that
these groups are trying to out-concept each other more than, like, out, like, anything else, like, out-sing or out-dance. It's like we're trying to out-concept each other.
And not just that, but it's also like there have been so many performances. Like we're on the 3rd round at this point. 6 groups, 3 rounds, plus that 0 round. There's only so many different distinct concepts that now we're resorting to retelling Aladdin. In a song that has no business retelling Aladdin, because you're just trying to come up with a concept out of nowhere. Like, it's, because, again, it's like I don't think they want to go back and just start reusing the same concepts of, like, for example, the next, I can get more into that in the next, which I guess we can move on to. The boys do Shangri-La.
Yeah.
Which is good, but Shangri-La is a traditional song.
It is.
It has a traditional concept. It's a VIXX song and has a traditional concept. But there have already been 2 other performances with traditional concepts.
The boys did one of them.
The boys did one of them themselves, and
one of us probably didn't want to do it again.
Just threw everything and the kitchen sink at this other traditional concept. So there's nowhere for them to go with it. So a song that has a clear built-in concept that is also reflected in the instrumental of the song has to now decide that we're just going to change everything about the song. This worked for me.
To be fair, yeah. They went for, like, classical music instead.
It worked.
And that worked for the song pretty well. It was not one of these, like, the concept and the song are completely disconnected. Like, they did a good job with what they wanted to. But
they also changed the arrangement, and they had to change a lot of what that song is. And it almost, like, in a way, if you don't really know Shangri-La, it almost doesn't sound like Shangri-La.
Yeah.
But, like, I think it's just a fact of, like, they're just trying to find more concepts. Because they did more traditional, but they focused a lot on dance. Because guess what? We've also already done classical music.
Yeah.
Half of the other performances were classical music.
We've done a lot of classical music already.
Exactly. So, like, at this point, at least now we're almost at the last round, and they just don't have to start grasping at more straws to find unique, diverse concepts that are going to make them stand out.
Yeah.
Good lord, that was a lot.
Oh boy.
I like The Boys' performance, though.
I do like it a lot. I like that it's more of like a contemporary style choreography too. I think that's really what makes it stand out, because no one else in this competition has been doing that. So I really like that a lot.
Really, The Boys have decided that this competition is their bitch, and we're just gonna do everything we want.
I don't think that's even like arguable. Like, if this competition is their bitch.
Yep, they've made this competition their bitch. And they've just killed, like, even performances where they're not the best group, because I feel like, especially, like, last round, I don't think The Boys was the best group. But even when they're not the best, they're, like, close to the top and producing absolutely incredible performances. And you're just like, well, I can't argue. They're amazing.
They have. It's like, this one, I don't think this performance is as good as some of their other ones, but it's still easily one of the best of the whole round. Like, it's still good. The only thing I don't like is the random, like, twigs at the end that they're dancing with.
The silhouettes.
It's like, why do we just have sticks now? It's a little weird. I get sort of how it matches with the concept, but it's also it's weird that we went from fans in regular Shangri-La, now we have sticks.
Woo. It's just, it was a choice.
Yeah.
But not one of the worst choices made.
No. And by definitely not one of the worst choices made this round.
I just think, like, in general, looking at this whole round, top to bottom, not the worst choice.
No, not at all. So, the final ranking for everything after the third round. Sense. So ONF is in first place.
Wait! What?
Sure,
Explain
okay.
this to me. Mnet, I demand an explanation.
The boys are now in second place.
Doesn't make sense to me either.
They're only behind by about 1,000 points.
Still doesn't
ONF,
make sense. Sure.
So that gap's pretty close. Pentagon's in third place.
Again, that's sure.
Fine, whatever. Very is in fourth.
Okay.
And I would like to say that the gap in between the boys and Pentagon is like 4,000. And then from Pentagon to Very is like 5,000. So there's pretty substantial gaps there. And then
still want to meet these 150 fans.
One Us is in fifth. And there's another like 3,000 point gap there. And then 2 is sadly in last. They only have about 1,000 point difference from One Us though.
These sweet boys. I'm happy One Us didn't get eliminated because I think they are doing very, very well. And I think just being very underappreciated. But I'm sad to see 2 go.
It's sad.
We did a true 180 on 2.
We really did a true 180 on 2. Like, who would have thought that we would have loved them by the time the show is over?
We loved them by the time the show started airing. I think we like, saw them in the first episode. We're like, aw, you guys have potential.
They're adorable.
And then we just fell in love. They truly are the winners of the show, I think.
They are. That, like, the Mnet, like, forced promotion of them really worked, honestly.
The thing is, like, they did nothing to completely embarrass themselves. And, like, they produced some of the best performances in this show. Like, their Rising Sun performance, I'm gonna remember.
Right. A lot of people started looking into them because of that one performance, too. And so, they have a lot more new fans now. It's like, as much as we were complaining at the beginning of the show, where this is just Mnet trying to shove their group on the show for promotion, like, yeah, 100% that's what they did, but it worked, yeah.
I now like 2. I'm now excited for their comeback. So, like, if you guys liked 2 on this show, they're having a comeback in July.
Golden Child also having a comeback at the end of the month.
Golden Child's
so getting eliminated from Road to Kingdom means you just have a comeback instead with the song you were preparing, probably.
I mean, they already made that song.
Yeah.
The song is probably already recorded.
I am interested to know. I don't know if I'll ever find this out, if their title track is the one they were planning to release on Kingdom, or if it's like a B-side or something on their album.
Snippets of because the actual finale songs for Road to Kingdom have already been released. Having heard snippets of those, I don't think so, because a lot of those songs don't sound like title tracks. They sound like performance songs.
They are 100% performance-based songs, yeah.
So I'm hoping that Golden Child is not going to release an album where their title track is a performance song that you need to watch. Mm-hmm. Because that does not work well with, most people listening on Spotify.
Yeah.
I don't think Willem is that dumb. Hopefully?
No. Hopefully. We'll see. We'll see in another couple weeks.
They did keep them from saying the N-word.
They did. That was a good choice. Good job, Willem, for once.
But yeah, no, I think that, I'm excited for the finale.
I am.
I'm excited. I don't like that this show has essentially just now devolved into trying to outperform each other. And when I say outperform, I mean essentially outdance.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
But I'm excited for the finale performances because I feel like they all have the opportunity to be amazing, because we're not doing covers. We're not just doing... We're not just trying to have to reimagine a song. This is just pure make
These are their songs now, yeah.
Your one job is make a good song. That's it.
Mm-hmm.
And I think all these groups have proven in the past that they can do that. So, just do it now.
Yep.
And, I think from Queendom, I have pretty high expectations, because we got both Lion
I love the
and
Queendom
Gorilla
songs.
From Queendom. Those two are
I love the Queendom finale songs.
Mm-hmm. So I'm hoping Mnet has some quality control and we get good songs like that in this show.
I also, from hearing the preview of the songs, they all tend to share a theme, too. And that was sort of similar to Queendom, where it's all the songs sort of sound like they belong together on an album, stylistically. Mm-hmm. Which is, I would agree, that's kind of how these Kingdom songs are, too. Having heard the previews for them and everything.
So yeah, next week is the finale. And then
it is.
We'll finally know who's gonna be on actual Kingdom.
And maybe the actual cast of Kingdom will get released soon, too.
Because that show still is supposed to air this summer.
It's supposed to air this year, yeah.
Is it?
In the fall. Because it's supposed to air when regular Queendom aired.
Okay, so yeah, it's gonna air in the fall, which is... So, yeah, no, I don't think Mnet has even started casting that show yet. They're wait... With everything else going on in the world, they're let's just see who's still a group and a couple in by the end of this summer before we start casting.
Right. Yes. This was the end of our round 3. Kind of a disappointing round. But
a little bit. But again, I think we had such a good round last time.
Yeah.
I think the round last week was so good.
It was so good.
Everybody had great performances last week. That this week it sort of balances out where, most of them were, good to bad. It was nothing great. No, I'd say the Heron performance was great. There was one great performance.
That was good. We had a good performance in 2 halves of round 3.
Yep. Again, there's only so much we can ask for. This is an Mnet show, remember?
This is an Mnet show, indeed. Alright. But, thanks for listening. Remember to subscribe to our channel if you like our podcasts and want to hear more coverage or our continued Road to Kingdom coverage. And subscribe or follow our Twitter, because that's our only social media. But yeah, we will see you in the next episode. Bye!
Bye!